Okay, hi everybody. This video is for making CÁ KHO Talti, which is caramel catfish in a clay pot. And what you need to do is, to make one of this dish, you really need to have a clay pot. You can get this at a Chinese grocery store, or Korean grocery store, or Vietnamese grocery store. They may have one of these. So they come in different sizes, and so pick the one that works for you, kind of medium size. And the only other instrument that you might need is, some chopsticks. These are just really long ones, or what is this? Wooden spoon. That'll work too. And this is just to use when you're caramelizing the sugar at the very beginning. Okay.
So if people don't have a clay pot, what should they use instead?
They can use like one of those fancy Le Creuset pot with the lid on it.
A Dutch oven?
Yeah, Dutch oven, but really you need one that be able to release steam. There's a little hole here that allows steam to go to come out. CÁ KHO Talti, you need about 1.5 to 2 pounds of catfish fillet, where you can cut it up into little cubes, like shown there, about an inch thick and 2-inch width or something like that. You need about 1/4 pound or less of the pork belly. This is just for flavoring. You can do all catfish, but I like to use a little bit of pork belly to give it more flavor. And then you need half a cup of nước mắm, which is fish sauce, preferably the good kind, and then equal amount of sugar. And then you need about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, where you mince it to finely, as shown there. And you can put in about 4 or 5 hot peppers. You can actually use jalapenos, actually even better, gives more flavor, but these are just Thai hot pepper or Vietnamese hot pepper, and since we don't eat too spicy, I use about 4 of them. So in terms of preparation, again, you want to cut the catfish to about 1 inch thick or so, 1 inch, 1.5 inch cubes. And then for the pork belly, you cut it into about 1/4 to 1/2 inch thickness. Again, it's just for flavoring, so you don't want to make it too thick. It's just you don't want to use it too much. Slightly season both, right? And you put a little bit of oil into the saucepan, and then you saute the garlic until it just turns brown. And then you take it out and put it on a side dish. So the next step, after you mince the garlic, you put it aside, you preheat the clay pot, and once with medium to high heat, and when the pot gets pretty hot, you want to do is put in the sugar, and then you want to do is constantly stir the sugar so that it doesn't clump up, and you keep doing that for about 1 minute to 2 minutes, and it will be able the sugar caramelize and it gets brown, and you want to be able to keep doing that, keep stirring constantly to make sure it doesn't lump up. And the sugar caramelized to a light to medium brown. It's almost done, and when it boils and you don't see any more of the clumps of sugar and it becomes medium brown, that's when you stop. And it was still boiling, and you immediately pour the fish sauce in. Okay, and you just hear a sizzle, and then you want to do is put the pork belly at the bottom. That's what I do. I put it at the bottom. So again, it's just for flavoring. And then you start stacking the catfish fillet into the pot. And then once you have it stacked nicely, level across, you want to put in the garlic that you've made earlier. And then you put in the hot pepper, just spread them evenly. And then you close the lid. And once you close the lid and it's tight, again, there's going to be a little hole where the steam is coming out. Will take about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes at high heat. It'll start boiling. You want to be able to do is have the caramel sauce with fish sauce and sugar, be able to boil over from outside inward over the fish fillet so that it will cook evenly. You leave it alone, you don't touch it at all, and that's the trick, is to get the heat to boil, the sauce to boil evenly over it, over the catfish inside the pot without spilling over. So you have to adjust it a little bit. So for my oven, which is a pretty powerful chef oven and stove range, I have to adjust it to about low to medium. And I think in most cases you might want to do is closer to medium. Again, you have to watch it. So once it still boil, you open the lid and see it's still boiling over, but it doesn't spill out, that's when you leave it alone. And then you go for about 25 to 30 minutes at that point in time. And that should be done. Well, just let me know how it turned out. Again, anybody can do this. It's pretty simple. Just follow the recipe and follow the ingredient list. And it's really not that difficult. I can do it. I'm not a cook. I just use the formula. I'm an engineer.
Okay.
This is a COVID-inspired beer. I haven't shaved in 3 weeks. And unlike other people, it will take me a month to beer come out. The beer that at least decent.
Okay.